New York, Manhattan, the Big Apple. It's a big city with a lot of things to see, but we all know that you're trying to get to the Javits Center, and we want to help you get there as fast as possible, as easily as possible. So we're here to help you with that. In this guide, we will teach you how to get to the Javits Center from the main ports of New York City. New York City is a massive city on a massive scale that can be a little intimidating to newcomers. Luckily, we just need to show you one area of the map, the Javits Center, and it's located right here. West Side, Central Manhattan. The main subway stations you'll be exiting out of and having to walk from are Port Authority, Penn Station, but ideally, Hudson Yards. To get to Penn Station and Port Authority, you'll want to take the A, C, and E trains on the Blue Line. You can also take the 1, 2, and 3 trains to Penn Station and cross underground, or take the 1, 2, and 3 to Times Square and walk over about one city block. To get to the Hudson Yards station, you'll need to take the 7 line westbound. All of these are pretty popular tracks with a lot of intersecting trains. No matter where you're coming from in New York, you should be able to take a train to one of those lines. Next, we'll teach you on how to make sure that your train is going the right way. A lot of trains are not as easily labeled as northbound and southbound or east and west. Typically, when you're above 42nd Street, you want to take a downtown train, and when you're below 34th Street, you'll want to take an uptown train. Some train stations allow you to switch trains easily, so you can go in different directions on the fly. Other trains will not allow you to switch unless you go above ground and switch. Make sure when you're going into the station, you're going on the right side of the train going in the right direction. This can be very confusing, and you want to make sure that you grab the train going the right way. So maybe you'll have to miss a train if one's in the station, but it's much better to know you're heading in the right direction than to find out you've been going the wrong way. Just take a bit of time and get there safely. Be aware that a lot of train stations have horrible or no signal for phone calls and texts, but many stations, especially popular ones, have free Wi-Fi in them called Transit Wireless. Download apps or know your route before going into the station because you may not be able to check it when you're underground. To travel in the subway, you'll need a Metro card. These are available in vending machines at the front of the station and are available as white and green single-use cards or orange cards that you can put credits on. Calculate how many times you think you'll be traveling on the subway. It costs $2.75 a trip or $5.50 for a round trip. If you calculate this out, you can find out the exact amount of money you need to put on a card, and we highly recommend you go with these cards because the single-use cards can be a little annoying and they're kind of a waste. Also, they cost just a tiny bit more and that can add up. Your other option is to buy an unlimited Metro card. These are available as 30-day and 7-day unlimited cards. Obviously, you're probably not going to want a month, so let's go with the 7-day one. The unlimited card can be swiped, you guessed it, an unlimited number of times, but you can only swipe it at the same station once every 15 minutes. So I don't think you could sneak in your whole family with one card. If New York is anything, it's constantly changing. We hope that there won't be any construction on any of these main lines in New York. Typically, New York is pretty prepared for New York Comic Con, but worst comes to worst, there may be construction and detours. If you see signs like this, please check if it includes your line, if the dates are New York Comic Con weekend, and if the time of date is right. Plan ahead, detour around it. It won't take you that much longer, and you're still going to have plenty of the con day left, but if you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry, make sure your route is okay. Make sure you aren't headed to a station that's closed or heading to catch a line that you cannot reach. It won't be the end of the world, but if you can prepare and speed up your trip, it's all the better. It's worth noting that subway cars are going to get very packed because these are very popular stations and very popular routes. Be aware that New Yorkers don't really get personal space. New Yorkers will squish into the subway cars and be very close to you, bumping shoulders and backs. If you have anything precious or fragile, be sure to keep a close eye on it and possibly keep it in front of you. Also, try not to be too loud and please be courteous. Offer your seats to disabled and elderly people and pregnant women. If you can afford it, or if you have a lot of valuables or maybe a very big cosplay, taxis may be your best bet. They can be a bit more, but if you take it in a group, it might be worth your while. They're also a lot faster than the subway. Get a couple people in there and consider doing it if necessary. An easy way to tell if a taxi has room for you is to see if the light on top is on. No light, no go. We have seen plenty of con-goers get really upset and wonder why no taxis are stopping for them when they just don't realize that every taxi going by is already occupied. If you ever feel uncomfortable with a taxi driver, you can ask him to drop you off right away. They should comply and you can just catch another taxi or get another way home. It will not be the end of the world, and we would much rather you be safe. Last but not least, we just want to make sure we can show you guys where you'll be heading from those main ports to the Javits Center. From Port Authority, you'll just have to walk down 42nd Street to the west, which means away from the bustling city towards where you can see the skyline clear. From Penn Station, you'll want to head north just a few blocks and then head westward, just towards the river, away from the major core of the city, and you should be just fine. If you're going on the 7 line, you want to use the Hudson Yard Station. It's clearly the biggest and cleanest one yet, and it also is handicap accessible. And also, it's really simple to get from the Hudson Yard Station to the Javits Center. You just come out of the subway, and it's right over there, right over your shoulder. I hope this guide has helped you guys, and I hope it gets you to New York Comic Con safely and as quick as possible with little to no confusion. Hope you guys can enjoy your New York City experience, because there's a lot to take in.